much, y'all. Thank y'all for coming out again, you know, to another episode. Appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for being here. Everybody's just looking. So we're talking about, you know, we're going back to relationships and we're trying to figure out if we can truly love more than one person. Can you be in love with more than one person? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Elaborate. Please.
This is from personal experience, y'all. So keep that in mind as we listen to the story.
I mean, yeah. I just feel it. I don't have no words to interpret why, but.
Can you be in love with more than one person, or can you love more than one person?
I'm probably thinking, can you love more than one person?
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
I feel like we should.
But the question was, can you be in love with more than one person?
And love and in love is the same thing, right?
No.
What's the difference?
Your parents can love all their kids equally,
Uh-huh.
but you can't be in love with your kids equally. That's why they always have that one favorite.
Can we define what in love
Well,
is?
so you know how I'm thinking about it?
Why you
I
think
don't
that?
really cut you off.
No, you're fine.
But, okay, so I think you have to start out and be in love with yourself before you can love others, right?
So because of that, you're already. Oh no, I get what you're saying. Because of that, you already have the ability to love another person. That's the same self-love.
So how I look at it is, loving someone is like how she explained. You love your family, you love your friends, you know, your brothers, all that. Now, being in love is more of like it's more either, I don't know how to explain it as far as like, it's more emotional. It's more intimate. So whatever sex of your choice, you're in love with that person, but you're not in love with your mom or your dad. You love them, but you're not head over heels about them.
I'm thinking about whether it's somebody that's your significant other, whether it's your brother, sister, cousin, auntie. You love them, and each one has a different emotional tie, but just being in love. There's people that don't love, so they're not just being in love, the emotion and vibration.
It's like what Chris Brown was talking about when he was like, I'm in love with Rihanna and Karrueche. I don't know who to choose. And then Rihanna bowed out.
I think first of all, you're just in love with yourself. You're in love with life. Because you can't, I don't know, like, just saying, oh, I'm in love with this person is making love outside of yourself. But love is your love.
I mean,
so,
you can love yourself as much as possible. So at some point in your life, you meet somebody that you have this attraction towards. Now, this cannot be your family. This cannot be your mom, your dad, your cousin. No.
Your friend.
Somebody, it could be your friend.
So attraction.
Okay, attraction, but we're talking
about sexual love.
Thank you. Let's put it like that.
Like non-familial.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about. We're not talking, mom, dad. I love my parents very much. Parents will love their children. They will say, I have a favorite, that's fine. It doesn't mean they're in love with that favorite.
Right.
It's just the favorite that they love way more.
So let me ask you this. Can you be attracted to more than one person at the same time?
You can be attracted to
yes.
hundreds of people at the same time.
Because you might like this about this person, that about this person. It's natural. But I feel like being in love with somebody emotionally, in a relationship, personally, from a woman's point of view, my point of view, I feel like you cannot be in love with more than one person.
Why not?
There's so much tunnel vision. There's so much specificity given to that individual. Everything is it's about and just encompassing them.
Right.
So it's like there is no other. When you're like in love, it's even difficult to acknowledge sexually that other people are attractive. Same person to come by and be like, ooh, like I'm sexually attracted to you. You'd be like, oh, they're an attractive individual. And it wouldn't even go past that other step.
Right.
When you're in love with somebody.
We have the ability to like be in love with one person and one person only. Like we have this tunnel vision for this person when we're madly in love with them, head over heels, infatuated, all of that. We don't see anybody else because we only want to see the person that we're head over heels with. In this day and age that we live in with this society, most guys don't have that same tunnel vision. They can be madly in love with their girl or whatever and see another woman just because she's shaped a certain way or she has certain assets, you know, on her body. And I'm not saying that, oh, he's in love with her because of that, but they're looking into that just because. I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel like guys kind of move by sight more, and women, I feel like we are more just emotional with it.
I call bullshit when I see it. You trying to tell me you don't look at anybody else when you're madly in love? You don't see attraction, you don't feel attraction because you have somebody at home that loves and cares about you. There's no disrespect to them, they love and care about you. You deserve every bit of that. But trust me, I know y'all see what's attractive. You might not choose to act on it. Now that's a total different topic. Y'all see what's attractive out there. Y'all like the attention, all that kind of stuff. You know, some of y'all might take that ring off your finger just so you can feed into that attraction a little bit. You may not do something, but you feed into it a little bit.
I don't think that, you know, you can say, oh, men are not as loyal as, you know, show me a research that or some kind of study that proves that. Maybe if you do, then we'll start talking.
For me, when someone says you're in love with someone, the way I look at that being in love with someone is it's almost the same definition as loving someone unconditionally.
Yeah.
You're in, like, the person doesn't have to do anything for you or to you for you to love them. You just love everything about them, their flaws, the good things about them. I mean, literally, if they have one eye, you love the fact that they have one eye. They can't do any wrong. It's just, you know, you're quick to forgive. You can't hold it. I mean, it's just there, and it's there. They're your world.
It's a lot to give to one person, and to give that to two, that seems like a lot.
So that's what I'm saying. If you have all of that
right.
in one person, where do you even get the energy to do the same for
Yeah,
someone
exact
else?
Okay, so you guys are basically saying it's not possible. Well, I live by the term and the slogan that anything is possible. So of course you don't go out of your way trying to love two people. It's tasking, right? It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of, you know, stuff to give, responsibility and all that good stuff. So you don't go saying, oh, I'm gonna meet you, get to know you, and do the same for you, and I'm sure you're gonna, you know, love two of you at the same time, like fall in love with both of you. So naturally, as human beings, we don't do that. We find one thing, we're good with it, we're good. We put all in all that, and that's fine. But possibly, I'm sure there's times where you, of course, meet two people, or, you know, whatever the circumstances, you fall in love with two people. It's
at the
definitely
same time.
At the same time, maybe not so much of the same time frame or whatever, but you can at the same moment be in love with two people. I've seen it before.
Where
like what if it's like someone from your past?
And then you have
a day without.
And you're at a crossroads for both, because you have to decide, okay, who am I gonna go with? And guy, girl, I don't think that's
the only reason why
it's very possible.
The only reason why I say that it could be possible, just hypothetically speaking, I'm talking to people, right? I'm trying to get into a relationship, and I'm dating, there's two girls I've set my eyes on. It becomes a task for me to say, who do I want to cut it off with, and who do I want to focus on? In that type of situation, you're not necessarily all the way in love. You know that.
I would say, because that just sounds
Path
strategic
to being there, but you have to. You'll get to the point where you're like, I've got to make a decision.
Right.
Yeah.
And sorry to cut you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I feel like what you're saying too kind of relates to you're in a relationship right now. You've met somebody else, and the relationship either might not be working how you want, or y'all fight too much. You're kind of on your way out already, but you still love this person. You're in love with this person, and then you meet this girl, you meet this guy, and they're like everything that you wanted, maybe even more.
Missing from this place.
Right. So you're getting to know this person. Now, you might not be like in love with that person the way you were with your past just yet, but you're on the way there. However, I feel like by the time you get there with this person, you have already kind of fallen out.
Right. So you have to make a decision.
Yeah. A lot of people,
of course, 9 times out of 10
are in love in the beginning stages, and they tend to fall out of love with each argument and each issue that they face. It happens, especially with disrespect. Disrespect is one of the biggest things that makes people fall out of love. I have zero tolerance for name calling in arguments when I'm in a relationship with you. Our arguments should be more of a conversation with emotions, not like cussing you out or saying you're a liar, you're a very stupid girl. No. When you start talking to me like that, you're demeaning me. You're talking to me like I'm your child, and I'm not your child, and I will not accept it. And with time, I'm gonna not want to be in your presence, and before we know what's going on, the relationship is dissolved. And that's where you open the room to be able to meet somebody else and start falling for them, because you're already 1 foot out the door with this person, or you're on the fence. You know what I mean? Because when you're fully in love with someone, you're like she said, you're tunnel vision. There is no, you can admire them, you can think that they're cute, and you might, want something physical with them, but it would never cross your mind to say, I'm going to leave her to possibly be with her.
So what happens with relationships or marriages or whatever that end on not just a bad breakup or anything? Circumstances happen, things happen. So bad situations where, for example, you have to go maybe across the world and you just know that it can't happen anymore. You still love the person, but because of real life situations, real world situations, you just can't be together anymore. And then, of course, you still love them. And then maybe you've met somebody else, you love them as well, you're in that process and you end up loving them.
That's like the high school sweetheart situation.
So say they were in love, because if going across the world is all it takes for you to fall out of love with someone.
There's a possibility that you can be in love with two people at the same time. However, you can't stay in love with two people. It's not possible. It's too much energy to just bounce back and forth. You go crazy. You just go nuts.
I get what you're saying. I get what he's saying. Now, to connect both, he's talking about mature people who have been together and they're in love with each other. Life happens. That's what he's talking about. You're talking about you're in love with somebody. You're in love. There's not, once you're in love, you're strong. You're in it. But when life happens, example, you like this person so much, but he's beginning to you're already gone past marriage. You're in love. He's beginning to do those things and show those signs or show those traits of, disrespect or something that makes you feel
too
different.
Comfortable.
You start falling in love.
But at this point you're already locked in. At this point you're already married. You're
but it looks
already
like you're looking for a way
that
out,
tunnel
though.
vision is already done. What happens at that point?
So that's different. I'm saying in the beginning, before we get to the disrespect part, before we get to the falling out of love part, before we even get to the marriage part, when you're still in love, at that moment, can I have those same feelings for two different people at the same time?
You can.
The reason why I say you can. The reason why I say you can is because you choose who you want to fall in love with, right?
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No,
you don't. I can say that.
How don't you?
I did not choose.
You can choose to fall in love with somebody. There's plenty of arranged marriages where people had never met before, but they were matches as far as their family saw fit, and they're in love. They're not in love just because it was arranged. So you can definitely choose to fall in love with somebody and actively work towards that, yes.
It could be consciously or subconsciously, because typically whoever you fall in love with or decide to fall in love with is somebody that pulls the best out of you until you see the other side.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like light attracts light, or like nowadays we say talk about whatever you want to do in life, put yourself around people with the common mindset or the mindset that you want to have. You want to be around somebody that makes you feel good, and vice versa. You make them feel good as a person. They pull out the best qualities about you. They make you feel special about yourself.
I have a coworker that we have lunch every day and we hang out every day. Just because they're around me so much, I'm talking to them, I'm open up to them, I feel comfortable with them. For whatever reason, it starts to build emotions. It was not planned. I never sat down and thought about it ever, but then the day that they would maybe kiss me or something, I become overwhelmed. I start falling for them. It was not planned. I didn't say I didn't choose. We have to work together. I didn't choose you to work with me.
You choose who you want to pursue. You choose who you want to get to know. You choose who you like. However, you don't necessarily choose who you fall in love with. I've seen situations, and myself included, where I've fallen in love with, or I thought I was in love with the wrong person, or people falling in love with the wrong people, like people who are in abusive relationships or relationships that aren't good for them. They're toxic. You can't help that you love this person.
Very, very simple example for me is outside of work and in work. Two individuals to pull out the best in me. If I'm making a conscious decision, I'm going to choose a person outside of work, because I don't like to mix business with pleasure. I separate those two very, very consciously.
Many people do that.
Yeah, but I've met different people in my professional environment that pull out the best in me, and they look good to me physically and all that, but I will make that conscious choice to go the other way.
But that's not in love, though.
No,
That's checking in and like.
But it's on the path to. That's the earlier stages of it.
So then that is the reasons why we're kind of saying it's difficult for two people to really, for one person to be really in love with both, because there's so many steps to leading to that most people are going to be like, okay, I'm going to bow out because it's getting messy.
So real quick.
I can see that.
So when you guys say in love, of course, for different people it means different things. in love to certain people means taking care of your significant other person, right? You know, I guess Africans, you know, they want to take care of their wife, take care of their girlfriend, whoever, splash her with money, all these kind of things. They love, I'm in love with you, baby girl, I love you. You
That's
know,
how they love.
that's how they love. Wait, hold on. That's how. Thank you. Let me finish. That's how they've.
That's their definition of love, not being in love. Spending money on a woman is not showing that you love her. Is showing that you're interested in her. Because there are a lot of men that spend money on women that the women are even talking to them. It's like, it's a way to get their attention. And it's a way to keep them in that relationship with you because you know that what is working for you is money. Nigerian men spending money, my goodness, it's like, it's second nature to them. I mean, I had a guy tell me, meet me on the first day, you wake up in a new Bugatti tomorrow. And he wasn't joking. I'm not even being nice to you. We don't even talk and you're ready to buy me a car? I've been in Nigeria and somebody handed me his car keys and said, whatever car this key opens is yours. And it was a G-Wagon. I never said one word to him. So does that mean he loves me? He doesn't know me from Adam.
Love is an affection. I'm guessing it is. Okay? It's not something you can see. It's a feeling, right? So you don't tell people how to feel. So if they're in love with somebody and they believe they are, they'll be able to do anything for them with their money, hard-earned money. That's being in love with them. Let me finish. Let me finish. So for them, that's their belief, right? So if they believe that they're in love with Nkechi, and then they feel like he can splurge all his money, and then he meets Biola, and he's in love with her as well, and he feels like that hard-earned money, he can splurge it on her too, and two of them, which he probably hasn't done before. Why can't he do that? You know, he's now in a situation where his definition of being in love is being able to take care of two girls.
I just want to say that giving money does not confirm
it doesn't.
love.
For me, it doesn't. It doesn't. For them, it does.
There are different types of love languages.
True.
Some people's love language is materialistic. They believe, especially Nigerian men.
Okay.
They believe that the more money and the Gucci and the Prada bags that I buy for you, that is me showing you love. The fact that
that's
I bought
all
you
he
a
can
house,
do. That's all he knows how to do.
that is me showing you love.
Unconditionally.
Me and Don are from the same place, so I don't know all that. No. I'm not spending. What am I spending? Until you are the main. I'm not spending money for what? What does that mean? Why should you, my hard-earned money, I should come and throw it at you that, oh, because I like you, take. Go and work and get your own money. What's that? I should spend my money. Come on, which money? Who's that? Bro, and this is the reason why I do appreciate, like, bro, I have friends. I have some female friends. When we will go out, they'll pay for their own stuff. I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I fuck with you. So you take them out, they'll not even remove their wallet. They'll be like, okay, who is paying the bill? I appreciate females who, when you go out, bro, they'll bring out their wallet. I'm like, oh, I got them. I'm like, okay. Like, they want to pay for their own stuff. Like, yeah. What do you mean by I should spend for it because the sign of love? What's that? Come on, move. You better pay your bill. What's that? I should pay for you. Did you work for it? Pay for your soda. You better pay for your soda. Swipe your card.
Most Nigerian men are in love with their wives for whatever reason, and they find a side chick and they love her, but they would never leave their wife for their side chick. They're not in love with that girl just because. Not because of
I don't have to leave you because I'm not in love with you.
Not because of status.
I'm in love with you.
It is not because of status. A lot of times it has nothing to do with status.
What is it?
Nothing's holding them there. It's a man's world in the country.
Yeah.
Nothing is holding them there. They've been through hell and hot water with
Nigerian
that woman,
men, you know,
and they
gun
love
divorce in Nigeria.
a shitload.
Gun divorce in Nigeria compared to America here.
Oh my goodness!
No,
you know
it's
what's
not.
going on in the
Like,
country, especially now.
divorced.
Nobody stays.
We all know about polygamy and monogamy. Polygamy is when you love or like or in love with more than one person, or you actually marry more than one person, and monogamy is just one, right? And then I saw where they said that polygamy is just lust, and monogamy is true love.
And everybody lusts. And everybody loves. When you want to compare monogamy with polygamy, I mean, not one is not better than the other. Just because you don't understand one or you have your own views about one doesn't, you can't really put it in a box. At the end of the day, as individuals, we love and we lust, and that's just two of the plethora of characteristics that there is to being a human being. So
the men who have multiple wives are doing it because they don't want the drama of cheating. It's like, if I can have all my women, have my cake and eat it too, and they're letting me, why not do it? That way I don't have to be jumping and hiding and doing all this. I mean, man, I don't need to be doing all this. Like, they should understand. And if he's lucky and has women that understands, then he does it.
That does not interest me at all. That just sounds extremely complicated. I'm not a polyamorous individual. I can't be in love with multiple people. I'm definitely a one sight, one mind, but I'm also an out of sight, out of mind. So people get recycled a little quickly, but that's okay.
No. If you're truly in love with somebody, it's probably one thing that they're not doing right that makes you feel like, oh, I'm gonna go get it somewhere else. At that point, is that love or
kids?
Lust? That's lust.
How about kids?
No, I mean kids. No, listen. No. Let me bring it back. Hold on. Let me bring it back. So when you bring kids into the there's always
you can what?
You can adopt, but.
What if you want to have your own kids?
What if you're the
problem?
problem?
At that point, how about you have that conversation and decide if you want to...
But what if you're the problem?
Well, that's different. But I'm saying, what if she's the problem? You marry another girl or another wife or whatever, and you actually love her as well. You love two of them.
What if you're the problem? Would you be mad at her for wanting to...
If she... That's another... You see, okay, we're talking about... Okay, let's... Okay, tunnel vision here.
No.
We're talking about you getting another wife. Right? That's man getting another wife.
Okay.
We assume that, hypothetically, the first wife can't have kids. Unfortunately, he still loves her unconditionally and everything, but he wants his own children. And he feels like, of course, not America, maybe back home or whatever, he feels like he should marry another wife who can give him kids.
Okay.
And he does. So if he does, and then he marries her, they get children and everything, he loves her as well, he loves two of them.
So
listen.
Why was that he lost alone?
I'm a very... territorial person. You cannot bring another woman into my space and say we're gonna have the same title. It can't happen. I can never be second to anybody, or there's no such thing as 2 ones. It makes 11. It's only one. Only one wife. So no, I would not be okay with that. And if you want to have a side chick that you're liking, don't tell me about it. Don't tell me about when emotions are involved. I don't want to know about it. Back in the day, it actually wasn't the man that went and got the woman. Sometimes it was the wives that would go and get another woman for her husband.
She's just
my grandma was in a polygamous relationship.
Not necessarily.
Oh, spill the tea.
Not necessarily.
Spill the tea. Spill the
there was
tea.
Reasons. If she needed help.
If
she needed help. If he said, you know what, I want another woman in the house, and there were so many reasons why he did it.
Especially back then.
Yes. And then there are other, and then there's, for the men, it was, depends on where you're from. Back in the day, it was also like a sign of your wealth. The more wives you have. My grandfather had 4 wives.
Same
4.
way.
My grandmother was second.
My grandma was second too.
Yeah. So it really. And when my grandfather passed, my grandma took care of all the other wives. Until they all died.
Like they were still friends.
He was no longer in the picture.
You think that can happen today?
No.
There are people that will accept it.
Nah.
If my partner tells me, oh, I like this person, I feel like I can spice up our relationship. We are not spicing up anything yet. Oh no tatashi atarudo, no spice here. We just want regular. We can spice it up ourselves. We're not going outside to go and find pepper and bring it. No way.
Oh no. It's still hard for me to take that in. I think I would have to give him an ultimatum. I feel like we can maybe experiment, have fun, but as far as like coming in and being a part of what I have, no. I'm kind of selfish when it comes to my significant other, so.
Are we saying that in that type of relationship, man and woman plus another woman,
plus
whatever it is, I was saying they're all truly in love with each other, so they do love each other, in love with each other.
It's possible.
I don't believe they're all in love with each other. Because from what I have seen and from what I have read, usually the first woman that he's with, because most times the man who has multiple wives and not vice versa. So the first woman that he's with, he loves her, he's in love with her. For whatever reason, he chooses to bring another woman in and she accepts it. And that's one thing that we don't ever realize, that the woman who accepts another woman coming in, that act alone makes that man fall deeper in love with her.
Yes, she has the upper hand.
The fact that he knows that she is going besides herself to do this for him makes him love and respect her more. And that's why when the other women come into the home, they dare not disrespect that first
What
woman.
if he knows that she has
no?
What if he believes that she has no choice and he's gonna bring in a woman anyway?
Who doesn't have a choice?
She can leave,
I mean,
and then he'll be by himself.
It'll
It'll turn into a monogamous relationship if she decides to leave.
Like literally.
So let's bring it down to just monogamy right now. You have one person, you know you like this person. You meet somebody else, right? What do you meet somebody else? You're getting those type of feelings for. I read somewhere, you know, you gauge your level of intimacy, and you know you gauge what your wants and needs, and you figure out who's giving you the best, and you at that point you make a decision. At that point it's up to you. So that's where that choosing. That's where that choosing parts comes in, right? So at that point you make a conscious decision who you want to go forward with. I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're right. But for me, I keep wondering, are we still talking about being in love or
being
loving?
in love.
Because being in love, it goes without question. You know who you're in love with.
Again,
you don't have to sit here and decide. Okay,
let me ask you a question.
Should I love this one? This one does
Let me
this.
ask you a question. How do you know if you're in love with somebody?
If you're still asking that
that's
question,
the
you're
only
not.
person you see.
The feeling
that is
you
the only
get.
person you can. That person becomes your world. There is no room
Give me
for
some
anyone
characteristics.
else.
I need some
They
characteristics.
smell.
Give me something.
I feel like it's a feeling.
It's a
glow,
feeling.
You get
it's a feeling
that, like, it's a feeling that you get when you talk to this person, when you
wake
think
up
about
in the
You can
morning,
tell if they're
the first
hurting,
you
you
wanna
dream,
call.
first
your
person
heartbeat,
you
or
talk to
instinct.
when you wake up, last person you talk to before you go to sleep.
You're not like, oh, they don't
stop
answer, I'll call the
whatever
other
you're
girl.
doing when this person calls versus like,
Yeah.
oh, if you call, okay, I'll call them back.
You'll be in the middle of a board meeting.
I'll be like, all right, y'all, I'll be right back. Let me take this call real quick.
So do we agree
You
that
head over
our
heels.
chemical balance in the body?
Oh, yeah.
You know, so there's this thing called
Dictates whether or not
dopamine.
Dopamine. It
Dopamine,
takes over.
So what I
takes
read
over.
was that really comes to play when
scary.
you meet somebody that really gets the best out of you, that makes you happy, that makes you smile.
Yeah.
That's a little bit.
So again,
Make you feel good.
Yeah.
you could
all
be
around.
married, and you could be married, right? And you're happy with yourself, but things may not be going as great. But you at work and you meet this guy who compliments you every day. This guy who
So let me
and
explain
that
this.
dopamine comes in.
So I don't believe that being in love, it's something that is stagnant and it's continuous. It's a feeling that goes up and down.
Yes.
There are times that you fall
like
out of love
you gotta
with someone
choose, yeah.
and then, you know, when you guys start reconnecting again, you fall back in love with them. It happens, even in marriages. You go through those, you know, phases, those streaks where you're like, you know what, we're arguing a
That's why I
lot.
like the term fall in
You
love.
can even be mad.
You wanna
You
slip
can be in love with somebody, right?
Can I just slide?
But see, you can be in love with someone, and then, like, for example, they can piss you off because they did something wrong or said something or whatever. They talked to a girl at the store and they weren't even talking about nothing, but you got mad, whatever. You go to work and a guy starts to compliment you, and it's like, just because you're kind of mad at him, you're going to entertain like, oh, okay, he think I'm cute.
And
okay. that's not the same dopamine that's like taking over. But I love you.
Different.
It's
If
just
you
more
let
so.
it will. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nah.
It's a conscious.
That guy at
What's
home,
that type of
that guy at home
movie?
has to disappear into thin air. When you're in love with someone, at that moment, you're in love with one person. There is no room for anybody else. It just doesn't happen. For whatever reason, you're like, it's all you see, that's all you want. You know, every time your phone rings, you pray it's them calling you. Every time you get a message, you pray it's them. I mean, you can't wait to see them when you get home. You can't wait till the next time you hang out with them. The energy it takes for that one, I can't even imagine having two guys at the same time that, I mean, how? There's only one person I can want to hear from. There are times when you're like, okay, you know what? You know, I'm starting to fall out of love, or they do something to piss you off and you're like, you know what, I'm not feeling you right now. Because how you tell people, I love you, but I don't like you right now. It's one of those. It's like, yeah, I love you, but right now I'm not liking what you're doing. And so, yeah, I might entertain somebody else. But once you start acting right, that person is gone. Like, I don't want to know. I don't even care about their feelings. Sorry, you was a mistake, but it's okay. Like, you're focused on this person.
I'm agreeing that you lead, you know, it steps to it. Because if the guy at home continues to mess around, you're still entertaining.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, but you do
The
realize
crossroads-
that if 5 guys are complimenting me,
That's a burger place like that.
and I'm sorry, what?
It's a burger place like that. 5 guys.
Okay.
Oh my
If
god.
7 guys are complimenting me and giving me attention and calling every day, I'm not gonna fall in love with all 7 of them.
With probably
But
with even any
So,
of
but
Obviously.
these are the steps. What I get in that 7 guys, there is 1. The other 6 are, oh, you're beautiful, you're this. Is entering one? Yeah, I'm coming out there that year. There is 1 that when he says it, my smile tears my face. Like it's like rips. Because he's who I want to hear it from. I don't care what these other 6 are saying.
And just to also piggyback on her really quick, if you don't mind, like speaking from experience, like there was a guy that I was with, you know, like I was just head over heels with him and love him, whatever. Let's say we got into an argument or just we were falling off, whatever the case is. Like she said, 7, even 10 guys, my whole Instagram account can be hitting you up every day saying, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, let's hang out. But in my head, even though I'm mad at him, I don't want to talk to none of them. Like you can compliment me from today to tomorrow. You can offer me this. You can
Even
tell
though
me let's hang
he's
out.
making you mad.
I'm pissed off at him, but
still.
I want him to get his shit together so I can be back with. I don't care about the million guys hitting me up and DMing me and telling me I'm pretty.
Because you're making a conscious reason not to do that.
Yes, so I
you
think
right,
you
and
actually-
that's
you
why,
actually
and that's
want to-
being in love with this person.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the answer
True.
is that the
That's-
crossroads can happen, but at some point a decision is made. I think it's very
Yes.
rare that the crossroad happens and then the person just stays there.
Yeah, you
At
can't
some
stay
point,
in
a
love with. That's what I was
decision
gonna
needs to be
say.
made
Thank you.
because in most cases, the women don't know about each other or the 2 men don't know about each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And this is going to get messy. Rarely does it become a. Y'all ready to throuple? You know what I mean? Like, are we gonna do this?
Usually
Well,
you choose.
it really doesn't. But can it happen? Can the convergence happen? Yeah, but just like a fork in the road, a decision will have to be made.
Yeah.
Now, the time to when a decision is made, that can change the course of things and such. Like you could bounce from the original to the new, or back and forth or whatever. But a decision typically is made.
Spot on.
And in a regular, usual monogamous relationship, because I think that's how most humans are, but not all humans are. Do you know what I mean?
I'm like, to sum it up, whether you're polygamous, monogamous, whatever it is, you do things based on your own personal belief and what you think is right or wrong.
I think
I think the general
At the end of the
answer
day,
is
that's how
that
you
yes,
feel.
it's possible to be in love with 2 people, but how does that last?
They're
Like,
saying it's not
successful?
possible.
Well, I mean,
at all.
yeah, that's it. It's not possible. Yeah, and to be honest with you, to sum it up, I don't. The reason why I would say it's not possible, or the reason why I say I wouldn't do it, is because this is too much work. I can't do it all that. It's too much going on.
It's too much work.
So I wouldn't do it. I don't
you.
want to do it, and I do subconsciously.
People are
If I
overachievers.
see
This
that
is done
someone's
from a
getting to
challenge
that point, I just-
accepted.
Challenge
what am I doing?
accepted,
Catch yourself back. You know.
I think the
That's
world
how
would be
it
a better place if we learn how to close the doors behind us before we open the ones in front of us.
Ooh,
Man, and on that note,
let's
Boom.
tell us.
Wait. But what if
Hit
you
it.
open the door in front of you is like 2, 3 people?
You're only
This
one
Willy
person.
Wonka ass.
3 people can't walk
Where are
through the door
you?
at the same time. Only one.
Why not? It might be a big ass
No,
door.
at one time. It'll be
one
one after
time.
the other, but
Yeah, it might be
like
a
as
big
in
ass door.
significant.
It might be a big ass door.
Open up. Come on, y'all.
We might be
Really?
slim as
You might
fuck.
be living
We're
in
talking
a
about
mansion,
regular
so.
doors.
No.
Standard doors.
Willy
What is a
Wonka's
standard door?
in the
Chocolate
garage.
factory. Where
How do
are
you
you?
know that's a standard door? Because somebody said
I'm
so.
done.
I can't.
I'm done. Yeah, good conversations though. Y'all
Yeah.
give us something.